Have a very good day, students. I hope everybody is doing great, enjoying your days at home, staying safe, and following the guidelines and all, and waiting for your college to reopen soon. Definitely, it will come, the date will come soon. But before that, don't you think that it's now the time come for you to start studying, start preparing yourself for the coming up examinations, which can be held at which can be definitely held during the end of the academic year, whenever the government would decide, because the government is compulsorily conducting the exams of all the categories. You must have seen they have started with the degree exams, all the degree exams, engineering including your BA, BSc, BCom, distance to regular to everywhere, every semester, even though the students are being promoted to the other semester. I hope everybody knows that in degree we have the semester system. In 1 year we have 2 semesters. So few of the students, or you can say all the students of each semester got promotions due to COVID. But after the promotion, after they got the promotion into the new year's syllabus, again their exams are being conducted. And now if you are having your any of your siblings, elder ones, any would be there, or near relatives in engineering or in degree, you must be aware that their semester exams have started. Now they are more of them, just take an example, one student is in 4th semester. Now he has or she has gone into 4th semester, but their 3rd semester exams, which are being not taken due to COVID, are now started. So what happened? Now they have to study, they have to go back to their 3rd year, whatever the syllabus is there for that particular semester, they have to go through that one, they have to learn it, and they have to attempt the examination, because passing in that examination will give them a true promotion to the 4th year, or from 2nd year to 3rd year. The promotion would have already done in the 2-3 months back, the promotion being given to the students. But at that time only, government has very much clarified that after the promotion, don't forget the exams. So we will conduct the exams, and now they are writing their exams. If you want, you can check it out even on OU website, and even in your near relatives, 2nd years from engineering, they are writing their exams, and the degree students are waiting for their exams. Now in this, maybe in this month, they would get the intimation for the examination. So we cannot say that your exams will not be conducted and you will get promoted. No. We are supposed to get ready for the examination. And as I am giving the example for this 2nd semester and 3rd semester, 4th semester students, they have got all their syllabus, they have prepared themselves. That's why they are now able to write down the examination. Are you not getting your syllabus? Your college, Sri Medhavi Junior College, I really appreciate the efforts done by our management, that they are trying to provide you the best of the right now in this pandemic, the best of the option to get the syllabus completed, as well as to give you the chance to revise and repeat the videos and watch how many times you would like to. As I said during your all the explanations, that when you don't get anything into your mind, please pause it out, then continue to watch. There is nothing wrong in that. And you have the option. You are so lucky to have this option of repeating the videos, because in many of the places I have actually got the like you can say, many students are saying that from their respective colleges that they are getting the online classes, that online classes would end, today's class would end today only. If you don't have an internet facility at that moment, or maybe the electricity is not there, or maybe your phone was not charged, your laptop was not charged, you cannot able to, whatever the situation or circumstance, you would not be able to listen to the class. And many a times it happens that you cannot clarify your doubt because half of the class being gone in continuously asking whether my voice is coming to you, or whether am I like audible, like my voice is heard by you, can you able to hear me. Continuously these questions are being asked by the faculties, because even though every teacher, every faculty tries their level best to provide the best to their students, but at these times, which are the most difficult times, you know that in our places we don't have that much technology and basic facilities where we can get all the things in a very clear manner. And sometimes, honestly speaking, you must have heard that, you must be watching your own siblings going through this problem, that whenever they are in online classes, suppose a vendor is coming outside, the vendor is shouting outside, selling something from bananas to vegetables, and many of the autos honking the horns. What is that happening? That sounds are getting into your brain rather than the lecture. It is happening with nearly all the students, those who are attending the online classes, because they could not stop the external disturbances which are happening. And it happens because you are not in a class, you are at home. And at home, if you are getting all the disturbances of home as well, because at home you have so many like family members, and everybody could not keep quiet because your classes are going on. And so what will happen? The external disturbance, the internal disturbance, and many times the diversion of mind can give you distracted, or can keep you distracted from concentrating on the listening of your lessons, listening of your mathematics formulas, physics, for you can say the whole derivations of physics, the formulas, or even the balancing of the chemistry formulas, and the application of mathematics. You cannot able to get that. Not only I'm talking about my own language, I'm talking about the other subjects as well. So this is the best platform your college is providing you. Honestly speaking, you can find it out anywhere. No college is providing in this way. Like all the videos are being provided to you, and you can definitely, if suppose one day you cannot able to reach to that video, the next day you can definitely check it out. And the next thing is that these are available 24/7. Like you don't have to get into that dilemma, like now I am missing the class because my electricity, at my home electricity is not there, or maybe the internet connection is not working, maybe data is ended. So many problems. So you would be very much thankful and grateful that the college is providing in such a way that you are not facing these problems. You are simply going a cakewalk. This is a cakewalk for you. You are getting all the material provided, and that too the lectures in the class with the boards, with the markers. The lecturers are available and they are clearing your whatever the doubts they may think that you are getting. And if there is a possibility, definitely will clear all your doubts, whatever it is needed. But now this is what we are trying to provide. Now what is your duty? Now it is your duty to give us a good response and a good result. And a result will not come if you study for one day. It needs a continuous comprehension plus continuous evaluation of your own skills. You need to learn, you need to understand, you need to practice. Again, I'm saying I'm not talking only about my paper, I'm talking about all the subjects. Like, you need to practice. Definitely, whatever you are learning, whatever you are watching into that, you need to practice it out. Unless and until you do the practice, how can you able to reach to the place where you want to? While explaining your lessons, I said you that you need to keep an aim. If you have the aim for stars, if you have the like you need one ambition, you have an ambition, if you want to reach to that ambition, if you want to reach to that destination, obviously there is a certain way to follow. So immediately make a timetable, like which days you, how many days you would like to give to particular subjects and how much you would like to practice it out. And definitely get a feeling like after doing the practice, get a feeling like, okay, I'm thorough in this particular chapter, I'm thorough in that second chapter. If you are getting the practice, definitely you will go through all these and you will be reaching to a certain position where there is no need for you to mug up the answers. You can do it on your own, and that too in a very limited time. So we are not sure about what the date could be for your examination. We are not sure how much time they will give it to you, because now they have deducted the time of the degree and engineering exams from 3 hours to 2 hours. But the paper is coming very difficult. The paper is not easy, because the students need to learn, the students need to get the skill, whatever being there in their syllabus, then only they can get an idea that they have passed so and so year, they have passed so and so a semester, and they can go further. If you don't have the knowledge of alphabet, then how can you go for writing the sentences? In the same way, this is an example, simple example I have given. If you don't go through the intermediate syllabus, then how can you go for writing your competitive exams? If first years don't understand the concepts given in your syllabus, then how can you able to understand the concepts of the second year? And second years, if you don't understand your own concepts, then how can you go for the competitive exams? So think, understand, don't become lazy. Be active, and now get ready to go into the waters, deep waters. Like deep waters means here to understand the syllabus and go through the videos and start taking the answers, learning the answers, whatever the practice to be done for your mathematics and physics and your chemistry answers, botany, zoology, or your economics, civics, all the subjects I'm talking about here. All the subjects need your attention. So go ahead with that, and languages as well. Don't take it anything easy, because if you don't score good marks in languages, your state rank will not come. If you are willing to, and you should will to, if you don't study in this age, then when you study? At what age you would have that enthusiasm? This is the main age where you have the more energy and more enthusiasm to do something better. And definitely if you do something good here, if you do hard work, then definitely you will reap the harvest, you will reap the best fruit, you will definitely taste the fruit if you do the hard work now. There is a need for that. Our college has provided this study material in all the subjects. It is available. This is English, I'm showing it to you, and very clearly they have mentioned everything. Even the question papers are there, and even this first lesson I'm showing it to you. For the first years I am showing this. So not only the key points what I have explained you can check it out the video as well, and then you have the annotations, then answers, then every grammar part, whatever it is there into that, with the practice papers. With the practice papers being given, and with the practice papers, the solved question papers of the previous years. Such a big study material being created for you, and there is no need for you to search on internet, get into that, and calling for the PDF notes from another colleges and all, because we are providing you everything. You just need to buy it out from our college. Buy this, get ready, and abreast yourself with the knowledge, and get ready for writing the examinations. All the study materials of all the subjects are available. Don't wait till the last moment, because now we have in abundance all these study material. Many students are coming and buying that because they know the importance, and you are very lucky to have this. Not only the videos being provided, but the study material, all the printed material. There is no need for you to write it down. I don't want to mention it out specifically, but even you can check it out around yourself, that where the study materials are being provided, where the videos are being given in any college. There is a big no for all these, because we are also living in this world and we know everywhere what is that happening. So be grateful, as I said, be happy that you have taken admission into this college and you are getting all these facilities. So now this is your turn to return the hard work of us in a better way. So definitely I am expecting that you people come forward for the study materials and get yourself ready for the examinations. Now with that, I hope you have understood that whatever I meant for. Now I'll like to show you the English paper. At the time of explaining your question paper, we have gone through all these sections A, B, C, and at that time also I said write down the A section first, because it gives you the 40 marks. 40 marks you can score, and if you are writing in a way how I am showing it to you, definitely you will score better marks. And as I said, for your state ranks and for your getting good ranks, there is a need to score better marks in your languages as well. So in languages you may lose the marks because of the grammatical mistakes, because of not writing the proper material required. So it is not an easy task to write down all those things unless and until you understand and you make sure that you are following the guidelines. Okay. Now the first I like to explain about the annotations. For second years you have already written, and if you have got less marks in English, this time you must try to score better marks. Maybe now you got aware that where you have done a mistake. If not, go through once again and try this time to score better marks for first years. Now see that in annotations, how to write it down. What is the annotation? Annotation means any 2 lines or 3 lines would be selected from your prose or poetry and would be given it to you, and you have to find out from which lesson it has been taken and what is the background of that and why it is being spoken. So these things to be mentioned it out in clearly in the answer. That is your annotation. Annotation will be divided into 2 sections, reference and context. In reference, what you have to write down? Name of the lesson or the poem. The lines belong to which lesson or which poem. So and so line, this line belongs to the lesson My Mother, or this line belongs to the poem Magical Earth, or any. So it's about you have to get aware to which lesson the particular lines are belonging. And then name and introduction of the writer or the poet. You must remember that which writer has written which poem. So for that, what you have to do is that make in grammar notes, as I wanted you to follow, make one grammar notes. Into that you do one thing, like make a list of the lessons and the authors. Make a list of this and then write down the number 1 as the name of the lesson and the name of the author, the name of the poem, the name of the poet. Like that, you just make a list, and with that list you have to memorize the names, because many times it happens that while writing the reference, the students get confused whether this particular poem is written by so and so writer or so and so person. So don't get confused into that. Don't mix it up. First write down, make a list. I know the list is there in the study material in the reader, but unless and until you write down from your own, you cannot get that idea into your mind. So there is at a place, write down the lesson's name and the author's name or the poet's name. Then make a list and memorize it, because it will be counted over here, and you will lose your marks if you don't write down the proper names. So first is name of the lesson or the poem from which these lines being taken. Now the second is name and introduction of the writer or the poet. If you have the study material at home, definitely you should check it out, that it is given very nicely that name and introduction of the poet or writer means what, not only the name, where he belongs to or where she belongs to, and how many works being admired by the people, how many honors and awards these people have got, everything being mentioned. A little bit, at least 2 to 3 lines to be written about the introduction of the writer or the poet is necessary in the reference. Reference is the first side heading which you have to write down in a very clear and legible way with underlines. Then next is the background of the lesson or the poem. What is the background of the lesson? Like just I'll give you one example of first year's lesson, My Mother. Okay. In that particular lesson, what is the background? APJ Abdul Kalam memorize, or you can say actually remembering the memories of his mother, remembering how his mother was too good, and he has dedicated that particular chapter or particular lesson to his mother. The qualities, the attributes of his mother being shown into that particular lesson. So you can write it down like the background. What is the background? Here APJ Abdul Kalam attributes or shows the positive sides or shows the, you can say, the qualities of his mother in a better way. Then you can go for writing the context. The next is the context. Now with this we have completed the explanation of the reference. The first is name of the lesson or poem, name and introduction of the writer with the awards and honors whatever they have got, and the background of the lesson. Why this lesson being written? What is the main thing in the lesson? Now the next is the context. What does it mean by context? That those lines which is being given in the question, what is the actual meaning of these lines and why they have spoken, and what is the importance of those lines? The relation or setting of lines ask circumstances. The relation, setting of lines or the circumstances being shown. What is that being shown? Why these lines being, like only why they have taken 2 to 3 lines? Because those lines are important. Like you have in many or all the lessons and poems, you have few lines which are really heart touching and which are the ones, those who give you certain like you can say morals. So those lines being selected, and when they have been given, you would have to clarify that these lines are actually meant this, and the writer wanted to show that what is the concept of the particular lines into the lesson. You would have to understand this and write it down and for you people everything is prepared. You have the study material and the list of the questions and answers and annotations being given at the back of the every reader, and that answers and annotations being given in a clarified way, or you can say in a detailed way in your study material. So you would have to do nothing except understand what I am saying and follow those instructions, and remember to learn the answers whatever being given in the study material. So okay, so the context is the relation or settings of that one. So in the annotations these two things are counted. First is reference, the second is the context for both, for prose as well as the poetry. Now next is the question and answer. In the question and answer for both prose and poetry, here I put the marks as 4 marks here, 4 marks here, 4 marks for each question. Each questions 4 marks and each annotations 4 marks being divided like this. For reference 1, 2, 3 marks and 1, 2 marks, and for context they'll give you 2 marks. Here this will be added half over there. So everything will be checked it out when the examiner, or you can say assistant examiner, will see or will correct the paper. So these things are to be counted. It is not like that you are writing something, one para this, one para that, without any relation, you will lose the marks. No marks will be given. Simply they put a line to deduct your marks. They don't give a single marks for that unless and until you fill up these criterias. You would have to write down the name of the lesson and the name of the poem plus the writer, background and the context in a proper manner. For any line, any answer if you are writing, that is total wrong. You will not score the marks. And I am not talking only for the persons, those who want to pass the examination. Don't think for only passing the examination. Think big. If you think to score better, definitely you will pass. If you want to score best, then you will do better, because board exams are quite unpredictable. So don't think that I'll write down this and I'll get the passing marks. You don't know what you have written is right or wrong. So get a clarity in your mind and try to focus on learning these answers. Now, the first para here is that what to write down in the question and answers, prose or poetry. For both I have written. Para 1 should be introduction of writer and author. You can mention the introduction, then start writing. Paras to be changed, it is a must. Changing of paras shows that how much confident you are, how much good you are at the particular lesson and poem which you are writing the answer about. Second para should be the background of lesson. As I said here also in the reference, that why the poet has written this lesson. Like for the second years, the first lesson is Dancing in the Rain. Why Azim Premji has written this lesson, or his speech, it was his speech which has been taken as a lesson in your syllabus. What is the main motto of Azim Premji? He wanted to show that the children are getting more burdened because of the continuous workaholic they have become. They are not getting the time, more studies being put on them. They are not getting the time to play and meet the other people. And he has compared both the child labor, both the types of the child labor. I hope you are recalling that because you have already seen the video. So here is that you have to write down the background of the lesson. What is the background? That Azim Premji, being a business tycoon, he has got a sympathy towards the children, and he was not only thinking that the one who is doing the physical labor, but the other one also, those who are doing the mental labor are also counted as the child laborers. So this could be the background. You are not mentioning the whole lesson here, only showing the background. Then you have to go for the third para, should be your related answer. What is the question being asked and whether Now the third para could be the answer which is related to the asked question. That is the point. Never start writing the questions directly. Start first the introduction, and the second para could be like in this particular lesson, Azim Premji mentions the varieties of child labor. Then move on to the related answer. But there is a need for you to clarify that you know the way to write down the question and answer. Okay? Because we want the best from you. As we are providing the best, we want the best from you. Are we wishing more? Obviously not. I don't think so. We are expecting our students to do better because here we are trying our best. So obviously it is our right to ask the best from you. Now next is the short story. In the short story, the para 1 should be introduction of the author is must. Introduction of author is must because in the introduction of author and the lesson also, introduction of author and the name of the lesson should be must. Like this particular story, okay, like short story from the second year is Parikh. This short story Parikh is taken, is written by the person, so and so the author, and the background of this particular lesson is the paddy, the workers, the Dalit workers and all. Okay, like for the first years you have the Umbrella Man. This the Umbrella Man story written by so and so writer for this, showing the ways of the frauds and fraudsters, how they trick the people, something like that. You would have all these. There is no need for you to write down from your own. You have already all the study material published for you ready in your college. So just only take it up and read those, understand those, and be ready for your examinations. Now, so first of all, the introduction of the author and the name of the lesson and a little bit of the introduction is necessary. Then the second para, you have to start the answer which would be related to the question. And obviously you will not start directly the answer. You would have to give a little bit of the summary, like summary of the answer or summary of the lesson to be given in a better way, because here also you have to do 2 answers. Each answer would have the 4 marks. So when you complete all these, you will score 40 marks. If you are a very good student, I expect you to score minimum 38 marks. Very good, I am talking about the best one. 38, because where if you do any mistake and all, they may definitely deduct your marks. And don't rely totally on grammar, because many of the students would start the paper with the grammar part, section B, section C. Never do that. Section A to be completed first, because in section B, section C, after doing the whole, you are not sure that you will score the whole marks, because you never know where you have done a mistake. Grammar is quite a tricky one where you cannot score the whole marks. And because this is the safe side for you. The annotations, the answers and the short story, you know very well everything. It's very less in syllabus, very few. In one module you have 3. So it's very easy for you to understand and learn the answers. That's not a big deal. But what you have to do is you have to first of all see that what is there into that. The question paper, we have done everything from our side. Question paper explanation being done, then syllabus being already started. You have all the videos. You need to go through that videos with the study material in front of you. Then I think you can understand the lessons in a better way. Because obviously when you relate to that, just take my example, like whenever I have explained, I have taken the important points, all the things which is being supposed to be asked in the examination. So when you are watching the video, if you are keeping your study material in front of you, obviously it will be very easy for you to understand, to relate. If you relate, if you understand, then obviously you can learn in an easy manner. So first of all, get ready, keep your mind ready for the examinations, and get this tips into your mind about writing the annotations, about the question and answer and the short story, how to write it down. And then I have written few like quick tips for you. One is side headings are must. There is a need for you to mention the side headings not only in my subject, in my language, I am talking about other subjects as well. Wherever there is a need, you should go ahead with that. Here what I am saying, the paras, and for the paras, if suppose you have to write down the introduction could be a side heading, reference and context could be your side headings. There is a need for you to mention the side heading and underline them very clearly. Don't mix up and do something mess. Don't do that. The paper should be presentable. It should look quite good. Not the persons could not correct it out if you are decorating with the flowers and all that. Is there is no need for the decoration, but it should be presentable. You know, while giving the marks, while correcting it out, if your paper won't give a headache, definitely you will score good marks, because the paper presentation is definitely countable. Some students would have a habit of writing in such a way that it is not legible. The writing could not be understood, could not be readable. So the neat and legible writing is very necessary. And maybe now, because you people are at home since so many days, so maybe you have lost the speed and you can say the neatness of your writing. So now start writing. At least daily write down 1 or 2 answers. After learning, write down 1 or 2 answers in your notes, or at least copy down the answer in your own handwriting, so you can get an idea that how much time it takes for you to copy down or to write down the answers. Now you will copy by seeing the study material, but in the examination there is no facility of copying. Okay, you have to do on your own. So obviously at that time you need the speed in writing, and if you don't get into the practice of writing, how can you write down in the examination? You will get a pain in your hand. You cannot able to force your hand to write it down. So now this is the time. We are reaching the peak time. This is the time when you have to start doing the practice of writing. So daily write down 1 or 2 answers of each lesson, poem and short story into your notes. Try to write it down in your own legible and neat handwriting. After 2 to 3 days you will find out that your writing is back. Maybe not the speed, but the writing. So you just go ahead with that. So make your writing neat and legible, and in the examination mention the question number in a proper manner. Writing, suppose you are writing the question number 2, but in front of question number 2 you are mentioning question number 1 by mistake. What will happen? It will create a chaos for the examiner as well as for you. The marks will get upside down. So it's better to mention the question number very clearly. If suppose somebody won't get into the detail and they just simply deduct out because the question number 1 is different and the answer is not related to that, so obviously they will deduct it out. They won't get into the detail that the second question, by mistake the student has written second question instead of first question, something like that. So please concentrate while writing. Put which number of question you are writing, put the same number over there in the margin. Otherwise you may lose the marks. Okay, so these 3 tips I would like to give it to you for making you perform better in the final examination. And refer the study material at any cost, because unless and until you refer the answers, you won't get the clarity on the explanation. So it's better after watching the explanation or during when you are watching, definitely read out the answers and annotations. You will get a thorough idea of the whole lesson or poem or the short story. So I hope with these tips and the like the question format, the format and the distribution of the marks. I hope you have understood and you will get ready, mentally ready for your examinations. So we are wishing, everybody is wishing the best for you, from the whole faculty, from the management, everybody is wishing that you people would be back soon to the colleges, because we have to live with this COVID-19. We have to understand to live with this one, because nowadays everything is happening, either the functions to the exams. So don't get into that your exams will not happen. If it will definitely be going to happen, maybe don't know which date, which time government has framed, but it will surely going to happen mostly. So by the time, get these things into your mind, set your mind, get into the mindset of the examination and get ready for that. So all the best from our side, and wish you the best of the luck and get ready for that. Okay, have a nice day.